almost 150 from Splatsin that actually went to residential school.
When I'm walking, I felt my family and everybody behind me. I felt their presence.
For a lot of us, it just means a lot for us to know that we have the support out there.
I was really excited to be selected as the artist for this project because my grandmother is from this community, the late Ethel Jones. She attended residential school, and those impacts also from day school, my dad's generation, are very much a part of my family story and my story. And so a chance to express it in a way that can bring healing and care to the elders who have been so steadfast in their support for this project was really important to me. And so this concept of the sculpture is a large cradle, a cedar root cradle that you can walk into. And so when we think about a cradle, we think how, we have our children in infancy and how much we care for them and how much we're trying to make a world for them. And I wanted that experience, but in a way that you could be surrounded. And so this cradle will be like the size of, taller than me and long, so that you can walk into it. Once you enter the sculpture, you'll also read the names of everybody from the community who attended residential school. And that, of course, is traumatic. And so this cradle is meant to care for you, meant to care for our community, meant to care for our generations, and meant to let everybody know that we have a right to that tenderness and that care, and our families. And cedar root cradles, of course, are also made from cedar roots, which are from our land. And so I wanted this sculpture to hold all of the experiences, all of the strength for people who made it through, and who I owe so much to, and for people to understand what we've been through and to understand how we can come together to heal.
I think the monument's going to be a validation to a lot of the survivors and even to their generations that have come, because there's so many people that these stories and these truths that were spoken were not told to them. And so to see the names visualized, I think it's going to be very powerful, because it will explain a lot of hurt that our community has been through, but it will also represent the resilience of our people. And I think that's going to be very powerful. I think it's going to be healing. I think it's just going to be a very beautiful moment when our community can come together and have a space that speaks the truths, and it's there permanently, that this is a place where people can gather and pay their respects and see that, our families have been through a lot, and that it didn't stop us. We're the seeds that have continued to grow, and that, we weren't left behind. And I think that's going to be an amazing thing to see.
One of the things I think that's really important is get involved. Get involved. We need your involvement, to make this happen, because we all live in the same community. We all experience the same thing from our past. Talking about the residential school, I think involvement is like the biggest, and let work together. We need to start working together, helping each other. That's the way it was a long time ago, when we didn't have to be asked. Our parents told us, they never asked us, can you do this? We were told, and that's how we learn as kids, to start doing things. Yeah, But that's what I think is most important, is getting involved and working together, helping each other, coming together as a community. Yeah.
Art has always been for me the place where I can contribute what I try to be good at, and so art for me is a way to have agency and to create expression. And I think creative expression is so important to a lot of our communities. I mean, I certainly see it as something that was really diminished in the residential school times. And yet our culture is so expressive, and our art ways are so important and connected in such holistic ways. And so art for me was a way to connect to family and culture and history, and also to base that in strength and skill and recovery, and to move forward. And so that's taken me on many journeys in many different ways. I've had shows in New York, I've had shows in our community, I've had shows in other cities, both shows that I'm in and shows that I work, for other artists. But for me, art is a collective experience, and it's grounded in community and home, and grounded in the technologies and beauty of our land.
The young people, they don't know, because what we went through, has been painful. We've led a painful journey since residential school. So when we started talking about having this monument, I was really excited, and I'm really looking forward, for the completion of it. And I'm hoping, when we do have the grand opening, that the whole community come out and have that celebration, because it affects every one of us. Not one person is left out. What has happened to us affected everybody, and it still does today.
So we're asking the community to support the walk, support the monument, and to show that they're an ally, that they're willing to stand with us for something that's important, to show that they're willing to take time out of their day to show that they won't let what has happened become a thing in the past, that it's present, it's something that we will forever remember, and to show our respects for the program, or for the monument. So we've gone to all the local businesses, we've asked everyone we can ask to show their support and to stand along with us. So yes, donations are always welcome for the monument. Every step that we can get closer to this to make it a reality for our survivors and for our community is most welcome. Also, helping with the orange shirts, wearing an orange shirt to show that our community can be a sea of orange, so everybody shows that we stand together.
I feel like this is my toughest project ever, because I have the audience that means the most to me, my community, my family. But what I hope people get from this is a real validation of our beauty and our strength and our futurity, that we'll be there in the future, our strength and ways as Secwepemc people will be there, and our children will have access.